Why is there a museum dedicated to pasta in Italy? Italy is the land of pasta, so it's no surprise that they have a museum devoted to this culinary masterpiece. In Rome, you can visit the Pasta Museum, where you'll find all kinds of pasta varieties, pasta-making machines, and even historic pasta. This place is for true carbohydrate enthusiasts, where you can learn about the history of creating spaghetti, fettuccine, and other types of pasta that Italians have been making for hundreds of years. Surprisingly, there are also humorous exhibits, like pasta shaped like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Honey Guide, the bird that will help you find honey if you share it. Imagine being lost in the African wilderness searching for food. In this case, you'd need one special bird, the honey guide. This unique bird species can literally talk to you and lead you to beehives. But there's a catch. When the honey guide helps you find honey, it expects you to share it. If you don't, the next time the bird may lead you not to honey, but to something dangerous, like a venomous snake. So it's better not to be greedy. This is an example of true partnership between humans and nature. The oldest toy in the world is just a stick. Believe it or not, one of the oldest toys on Earth is simply a stick. For thousands of years, sticks have been used by people for all kinds of purposes, from simple play to the creation of complex tools. Children have used sticks in role-playing games, imagining them as swords, weapons, or magical wands. These simple yet versatile objects remain a staple in children's games even today. Their popularity is so great that in 2008, the United States even established a National Stick Day to celebrate the importance of the stick in toy history. Who would have thought that such a simple item could become part of our cultural heritage? Who knew a group of pugs is called a grumble? Pugs are already beloved for their cute and quirky personalities. But did you know that a group of pugs is called a grumble? This charming term perfectly suits their adorable and sometimes noisy nature. When several pugs gather, it's a delightful sight and sound, a small grumble of little doggy characters, bringing joy and humor to any scene. You might not know that Americans are true workaholics. In the US, the work culture is so pronounced that many citizens start their workday at 6 a.m. and finish well after midnight. Americans often invest their lives in their careers, creating an image of a working people constantly striving for success. This work ethic is deeply embedded in American culture and is seen as an integral part of their pursuit of prosperity. Interestingly, Pennsylvania is home to the Amish, a group that has completely rejected modern civilization's conveniences and leads a life dedicated to hard work without high technology. How long do you think the world's longest tongue is? British artist Nick Stubrel holds the title for the world's longest tongue. His tongue measures an impressive 10.1 centimeters, just under 4 inches. Nick can perform amazing tricks with his tongue. He can lick his nose, elbow, and even his own eye. He has also turned his unique talent into an art form, using his tongue to paint portraits. Nick covers his tongue in paint and makes strokes on canvas, creating truly unusual pieces of art. Talk about extraordinary skills. Did you know that cats can make over 100 different sounds? Cats are true vocal virtuosos. They can meow, purr, hiss, growl, and produce countless other sounds, each carrying a specific meaning. Unlike dogs, who mostly bark, cats use a whole range of sounds to communicate with humans and each other. This rich vocal repertoire helps them express their emotions, moods, and desires. If you have a furry friend at home, rest assured they'll find a way to talk to you about their plans. Have you ever noticed that fresh, earthy smell after rain? This unique scent, known as petrichor, fills the air when rain first touches dry soil. The term petrichor comes from the Greek words petra, stone, and ichor, which is the fluid said to flow in the veins of the gods. It's as if each drop of rain reveals the earth's hidden fragrance, captivating our senses with a touch of nature's charm. Turns out mantises are genuine aerial snipers. Camouflaged as twigs or leaves, mantises might appear peaceful, but they are among the deadliest predators of the insect world. Their eyes, made of thousands of visual units, form 3D images with razor-sharp depth perception, letting them track even the smallest movements. When prey is in range, the mantis doesn't pounce blindly. It slows its heartbeat, locks into position, and launches a rapid, calculated strike in just 40 milliseconds. Its spiked forelegs act like spring-loaded traps, capturing prey with over 90% success. Some species even snatch insects out of the air with shocking accuracy. Evolution has equipped mantises with everything a sniper needs: camouflage, stillness, precision vision, and instant reaction time. They are living proof that small size doesn't mean small skill. What makes proboscis monkeys so special in Brunei? These fascinating creatures are truly a sight to behold. Found primarily in the lush mangrove forests, riverbanks, and tropical rainforests of Brunei, especially within the stunning Ulu Temburong National Park, proboscis monkeys are like something out of a storybook. With their distinctive long noses and unique social behaviors, they have earned a special place in the hearts of wildlife enthusiasts and locals alike. This national park is not just any nature reserve, it's a crucial conservation area that protects a variety of unique wildlife, with the proboscis monkey often hailed as its main attraction. Brunei's government takes conservation seriously, implementing strict measures to shield these remarkable monkeys and their habitats from threats like deforestation and hunting. Thanks to these efforts, visitors to Ulu Temburong can witness these playful primates swinging through the trees, all while supporting initiatives that ensure their survival and the health of their rainforest home. Seeing these monkeys in their natural environment is not just an adventure, it's a chance to appreciate the beauty of biodiversity. Did you know female Komodo dragons can have babies alone? This fascinating ability is known as parthenogenesis, where a female can reproduce without needing a male. It's like a superpower in the animal kingdom. In the case of the Komodo dragon, when a female uses this method, she always produces male offspring. Imagine that! While this might seem strange, it actually helps the species survive in situations where finding a mate might be tough, such as isolated environments. These tough reptiles are the largest living lizards and can be found only in certain parts of Indonesia. The process of parthenogenesis lets a female dragon ensure that her genes carry on, even if she can't find a partner. However, it's not the most common route for reproduction because having genetic diversity usually leads to healthier populations. Still, it's a remarkable example of how nature adapts and thrives in unique ways. So next time you think about the wonders of wildlife, remember the incredible female Komodo dragon and her ability to create life all on her own. Imagine that the colors of the American flag match those of the Russian flag. This coincidence is not accidental, as each of the three colors on the American flag symbolizes specific qualities that form the foundation of the American nation. Red represents valor and resilience. Blue signifies diligence, justice, and vigilance, while white stands for innocence and purity. Interestingly, the number of stars on the American flag corresponds to the number of states, and the stripes symbolize the original colonies that formed the first states. The flag's design was created by a teenager as part of a school assignment, for which he received a B. Is it really possible that birds sleep in flight? It sounds like science fiction, but some birds, like frigate birds and swifts, can literally sleep while flying. Researchers used tiny EEG sensors to monitor brain activity and discovered that these birds use unihemispheric slow-wave sleep, resting one side of the brain while the other stays awake. This unique ability allows them to soar across oceans for days or weeks without landing. They can stay alert enough to navigate, avoid obstacles, and maintain balance, all while giving their brains periodic rest. This adaptation is crucial for species that can't land safely on water or lack feeding spots mid-journey. It's an incredible evolutionary response to the challenge of long-distance migration. These birds are the only known vertebrates capable of combining motion and sleep so seamlessly, proving that nature finds rest, even in midair. Who would have thought that the wombat is a true architect of nature? Imagine this. The small, furry wombat living in Australian forests is not just cute, but unique in a very peculiar way. It's the only animal on the planet that leaves cube-shaped droppings. Yes, you heard that right. Perfect little cubes. These unusual blocks don't just roll down hills. Wombats strategically place them to mark their territory. The cubic shape helps prevent them from rolling, which is especially useful in hilly areas. Scientists have long wondered how wombats manage to produce such regular shapes. The secret lies in the unique structure of their intestines, which compress the waste into perfect cubes. Nature never ceases to amaze, and wombats with their cube droppings are a shining example of how fascinating her creations can be. Did you know the largest living organism on Earth is a mushroom? The honey fungus, also known as the giant mushroom, covers an astonishing 2,385 acres in the Malheur National Forest in Oregon, USA. This fungus forms a massive underground network of mycelium, which is the vegetative part of the fungus that spreads beneath the soil. The mycelium isn't visible to the naked eye, but it is responsible for the mushrooms that appear above the ground. Can you imagine one organism covering such a vast area? It's a true wonder of nature that few people know about. Have you ever wondered if the echidna can hear prey underground? The echidna, a spiny Australian monotrim, is more than just a quirky creature. It's a sensory marvel. At the tip of its snout are thousands of electroreceptors that detect the faintest electric fields generated by the tiny muscle movements of insects underground. As it digs, this sixth sense helps it zero in on ants, termites, and larvae, even when buried under layers of dirt or leaves. Once the signal is strong, the echidna deploys its long, sticky tongue to scoop the prey in milliseconds. Unlike predators that rely on vision or smell, the echidna operates like a living radar system. It's an ideal adaptation for a nocturnal, burrowing hunter, especially in the dark, dry landscapes of Australia. Despite its clumsy appearance, the echidna is one of the most precise feeders in the animal kingdom, guided by an invisible world of bioelectricity. Ancient Roman firefighters and their unusual tactics. In ancient Rome, firefighting wasn't just about saving lives. It was a business. When a fire broke out, firefighters would rush to the scene, but they would only put out the flames if the property owner agreed on a price. This strange combination of urgency and negotiation shows just how different firefighting was back then compared to today. Back in those days, saving a building from flames required both money and quick decisions. The royal game of Ur is the oldest board game, over 4,000 years old. This ancient game was discovered during excavations in Mesopotamia and dates back to around 2600 BCE. Played by two players on a 20-square board, the game involved strategic moves with pieces that maneuvered around obstacles. It had a major influence on the development of future board games, demonstrating the strategic thinking of ancient civilizations. Just imagine how deep-rooted our love for games really is. Did you know plastic bags can take centuries to decompose? The plastic bags we use every day can take up to several hundred years to decompose, or even longer. Unlike organic materials, plastic doesn't easily break down because it's not part of nature's cycle. Over time, it degrades into smaller pieces known as microplastics, but this process takes decades. This poses a serious environmental problem, highlighting the need to rethink how we use and dispose of plastic in our daily lives. Cows have a phenomenal sense of smell. Cows can boast an extraordinary sense of smell, capable of detecting scents from up to 6 million meters away. This means a cow can sniff out fresh grass or a water source from miles away. This sensitivity helps cows navigate their surroundings, find food, and avoid danger. But their sense of smell isn't just about finding food. It also helps them recognize their calves and even other herd members. This ability underscores how important the world of scents is to them and how closely they are connected to the natural environment. Did you know there are eternal lightning storms on Earth? In Venezuela, there is a place called Catatumbo where lightning strikes almost constantly. This unique natural phenomenon occurs at Lake Maracaibo, where lightning can be observed on up to 250 days each year. Known as the Catatumbo lightning storm, lightning can flash up to 280 times an hour. Scientists believe this is due to the region's unique topography, which creates perfect conditions for constant discharges. This location has become a major attraction for tourists and scientists from around the world. What do you think is the largest economy in the world? Of course, it's the USA. With a GDP exceeding 23 trillion, the U.S. continues to lead the global economy, consistently maintaining its position as a world leader. The country's economy is based on high technology, innovation, financial services, and a strong military industry. The U.S. remains a global hub for investments, startups, and corporate solutions. Its economic power allows it to influence international markets and set trends in global business, making it not only an economic superpower, but also a vital center for new technology and innovation development. Is it true that the Olympics once included art competitions? From 1912 to 1948, the Olympic Games did indeed award medals to artists, composers, sculptors, and architects. During this era, art competed alongside sports, and medals were awarded for artistic disciplines such as sculpture, painting, music, and even architecture. This blend of sports and art symbolized that physical strength and creative talent could go hand in hand. Although there is no art segment in the Olympics today, this part of history evokes admiration and nostalgia for a time when artistic achievements were recognized on par with athletic feats. The United States boasts the largest interstate highway system in the world, facilitating fast and convenient travel across the country. Over 75,000 miles of expressways and more than 400,000 miles of other federal roads connect cities, states, and regions. Additionally, the country has the longest railway system, further enhancing the efficient transportation of goods and people. These infrastructure achievements not only support economic growth, but also provide comfort for millions of Americans, enabling free movement across the continent. This vast highway network has become a crucial element in logistics and the tourism industry, exemplifying how effectively and on a large scale transportation infrastructure can be developed. Pteronophobia, an unusual fear you might not know about. Did you know that the fear of being tickled by feathers has its own name? It's called pteronophobia, and it's characterized by an irrational fear of being tickled by feathers or even by feathers themselves. While this phobia is rare, it can cause significant stress and anxiety for those who suffer from it. This unusual fear is yet another example of how unique human fears can be and how they can impact daily life. Why do butterflies taste everything with their feet? Butterflies have chemoreceptors on their feet that let them taste surfaces simply by standing on them. When a butterfly lands on a plant, these sensors immediately analyze sugar content, toxins, and suitability for egg laying. Female butterflies rely on this ability to select the perfect leaves where caterpillars will later hatch and feed. Choosing the wrong plant could be deadly for the next generation, so accuracy is crucial. These taste sensors also help butterflies find the richest nectar sources, making their feeding more efficient. This system saves time and energy, allowing butterflies to make split-second decisions without needing to bite or test with their mouths. It's like having a tongue on your toes, functional, efficient, and vital for survival. Nature gave butterflies the ability to taste the world with every graceful step. How many toes do you think cats have on their front paws? Cats' paws are truly unique, not just because they're cute. Most cats have 5 toes on their front paws and only 4 on their back paws. This makes their movement system particularly efficient for hunting and climbing. However, some polydactyl cats have extra toes, making them even more unique. It seems nature decided that a cat's paw shouldn't just be a survival tool, but also a perfect machine for capturing human hearts. Believe it or not, an elephant's trunk is nature's Swiss Army knife. What looks like a long, flexible hose is actually one of the most advanced biological tools on Earth. An elephant's trunk is a muscular marvel composed of over 40,000 individual muscles and no bones, giving it the strength to lift logs and the finesse to pluck a single blade of grass. It serves as a snorkel when swimming, a trumpet for communication, and even a tool for delicate social gestures, like stroking another elephant's face. The tip alone is so sensitive and dexterous that it can unwrap a peanut or gently clean a baby's eyes. With a sense of smell far more powerful than a bloodhound's, the trunk can detect water sources kilometers away or sense danger on the wind. It is not just a nose, it's a multi-tool for survival, nurturing, and exploration. Evolution gave elephants a single appendage that replaces a dozen other body parts, and they use it like pros. What if I told you that you can boil water just by shaking it? Yes, it's true, although practically impossible to do. If you shake a container of water fast and hard enough, you can create friction, which will raise the water's temperature. Theoretically, if you shake it quickly enough, you could even bring the water to a boil. This unusual physics experiment shows how mechanical energy can be converted into heat. While you won't be making tea this way, the mere possibility that shaking could boil water is astonishing. What's hidden in LEGO's secret vault? LEGO has a secret underground vault that stores every single set of building blocks the company has ever made. It's a true time capsule filled with nostalgia and creativity, waiting to delight fans of all ages. Imagine the wonders hidden beneath this vault, where both classic and modern sets are stored together. This vault is a dream come true for LEGO enthusiasts, preserving the company's entire legacy. This might surprise you. Boston Marathon's rich history? The Boston Marathon, held every year since 1897, is not just any race. It's a celebration of endurance and sportsmanship that has captivated runners and spectators alike for over a century. As one of the oldest and most prestigious marathons in the world, it has grown from a modest start with just 15 runners in its first edition to a spectacular event that now welcomes thousands of participants from around the globe. The marathon runs through the scenic streets of Boston, challenging runners with its infamous Heartbreak Hill and showcasing the city's vibrant spirit as thousands cheer them on. Notably, the event has also been a platform for social change. Women were officially allowed to enter the race in 1972, and it has since become a symbol of resilience, especially after the tragic events of 2013 when the city came together, showcasing the power of community. Each April, locals and tourists alike come together to witness this incredible display of human spirit, making it a truly unifying experience for all. You might be a descendant of Genghis Khan. In 2003, scientists conducted a study that revealed that about 16 million men worldwide share a common Y chromosome with Genghis Khan. This means that approximately 1 in 200 men is a direct descendant of this famous conqueror. Genghis Khan and his descendants left a significant genetic legacy across the vast regions he conquered. Although this study focuses on the paternal line, it shows just how intertwined history and genetics can be. Discover how magnetic rings revolutionized early computer memory. In the early days of computing, memory technology took a fascinating turn with the use of tiny magnetic rings. Each ring was a remarkable component that stored data by allowing electrical signals to loop through them. When it came time to erase this data, engineers simply reversed the current, making the rings reusable. This innovative approach was a major leap forward, providing computers with a reliable way to hold and manipulate information. Imagine a collection of these rings strung together on wires, working tirelessly to perform calculations, while being as precious as gold. Over time, however, this technology was eclipsed by the invention of microchips, which packed even more power into an even smaller space. Yet, the magnetic ring memory remains a crucial chapter in the evolution of computing, showcasing how engineers shape the world we live in today. Doesn't it blow your mind that something so small played such a huge role in the technology we now take for granted? Did you know that lobsters live a long time, but they're not immortal? Contrary to popular belief, lobsters are not biologically immortal, but they do possess a fascinating secret, an enzyme called telomerase that helps repair their cells. This enzyme allows lobsters to keep reproducing DNA and regenerating cells, which contributes to their seemingly endless longevity. This remarkable ability has given rise to the myth of the immortal lobster. However, while lobsters can live for decades, they still eventually age. It's a fascinating glimpse into nature's strategies for longevity. Could a cuckoo really deceive other birds? The cuckoo is a master manipulator of the avian world. Rather than build its own nest, it lays eggs in those of other bird species, a behavior known as brood parasitism. But this isn't a haphazard trick. The female cuckoo carefully selects a host whose eggs resemble her own, often mimicking the color, size, and speckle patterns with near-perfect accuracy. Once laid, the cuckoo chick usually hatches first and instinctively pushes the host's eggs or chicks out of the nest. The unsuspecting foster parents, driven by instinct, feed the fast-growing imposter without recognizing the deception. This frees the cuckoo from parental duties, allowing it to invest energy in laying more eggs across multiple nests. It's a strategy that requires cunning, precision, and evolutionary finesse. Proof that survival isn't always about brute strength, but sometimes about outsmarting your neighbors. Did you know that in the US, there are banknotes with denominations up to $100,000? These bills were designed for internal transfers between large financial institutions and were never used in everyday transactions. Primarily, they were intended to facilitate operations between Federal Reserve banks. Such notes are rare, and although they are no longer issued, they remain an important part of the history of the American financial system and serve as an interesting example of unique solutions in banking practice. Did you know that 1 in 8 Americans has worked at McDonald's for at least a few days? This is quite an interesting fact, as the fast food chain is not only one of the largest in the world, but also a true training ground for young workers. Many celebrities and successful business people started their careers at McDonald's, illustrating the importance of having a stepping stone in a large corporation. So if you've ever worked there, you're not alone. It's a rite of passage for many. Did you know that artificial intelligence has been around since the 1950s? Artificial intelligence, or AI, began its development in the mid-20th century and has since revolutionized various industries. From virtual assistants to autonomous vehicles, AI has become an integral part of our daily lives. Today, AI is used in healthcare, finance, transportation, and entertainment, transforming how we live and work. The growth of AI is an incredible journey of technological evolution, showcasing how far we've come in understanding and creating intelligent machines. The pistol shrimp, master of the sonic boom. The pistol shrimp, just 2 centimeters long, holds the title of the loudest creature on the planet. It creates a sonic boom louder than a Concorde jet by snapping its claws shut so quickly that it forms a cavitation bubble. This bubble then collapses, creating an incredibly loud sound, strong enough to stun small prey. This unique ability helps the pistol shrimp hunt and defend itself against predators. Who would have thought that such a tiny creature could produce such a powerful noise? Can you imagine that some fungi control insects? Deep in the Amazon rainforest lives a fungus called Ophiocordyceps, which literally turns ants into zombies. The fungus invades the ant's body and takes over its mind, forcing it to climb up a tree before it dies. Then the fungus sprouts out of the ant's head and releases spores to infect others. It sounds like a horror movie plot, but these fungi really exist, and it's one of nature's most mind-blowing phenomena. Did you know that many championships in the US are called World Championships, even though no other countries participate? For example, the World Championship of American Football is strictly an American event, featuring only US teams. This approach often raises eyebrows outside the country, but within the US, it's seen as a tribute to the grandeur and uniqueness of local traditions. For Americans, the world is largely confined to their own country, and everything beyond its borders often seems less significant. Blindsight. How can someone see without realizing it? Imagine being blind but still being able to see movements and objects. This phenomenon is known as blindsight. It occurs in people with damage to the visual cortex. Even though they don't see in the conventional sense, they can intuitively detect the location of objects and even guess where they are moving. How is this possible? Other parts of the brain are still able to process visual information. This fascinating phenomenon makes us wonder about how much our brain does in the background without us even being aware of it. You won't believe this about American vigilance. In the United States, quickly reporting suspicious activities is not just common, it's seen as an essential civic duty. While in Belarus, Russia, and much of Europe, this practice is often labeled informing in the US, it reflects a strong culture of vigilance. Americans tend to act fast when they notice something amiss in their neighborhoods, like an unfamiliar person lurking or strange noises at odd hours. This instinct to report anomalies to the police stems from a deep-rooted belief in safety and public order. Residents believe that a watchful eye can prevent crime and help keep everyone safe, which creates a sense of community well-being. Interestingly, many Americans will act without needing prompts or encouragement. They simply feel responsible for their surroundings. This cultural perspective emphasizes that participating in local safety is not meddlesome, but rather heroic, and it's a duty every citizen shares. How does this mindset compare to your own country's approach to safety? Have you ever wondered that there are underground oceans? Beneath the Earth's surface, there are massive water reservoirs, which could be called underground oceans. The volume of water in these reservoirs exceeds that of all the oceans, lakes, and rivers on the surface. These hidden waters are located hundreds of kilometers deep underground, and scientists are just beginning to understand their role in the planet's geological processes. It's interesting that Italy has a failed skyscraper. In Milan, there is a skyscraper that locals call the Failure. The Pirelli building, constructed in the 1950s, became a symbol of architectural failure, constantly requiring repairs due to design flaws. Despite its modern shape, the building became an object of mockery, but over time, it transformed into one of the city's iconic landmarks thanks to its unusual fate. Did you know that Tokyo has buildings that can grow? Tokyo has a construction technology that allows buildings to increase in height even after completion. The foundation is reinforced so that additional floors can be added later. This saves space in the metropolis and adapts to changing demands. For example, the Mizushima skyscraper was built with 14 floors, but later grew to 20. Guess what really drives Dunkin' Donuts' success? Founded in 1948 by William Rosenberg in Massachusetts, Dunkin' Donuts has become a beloved coffee and donut brand worldwide. With over 12,000 stores across 36 countries, it's hard to find a town without a Dunkin'. But what's the magic behind its popularity? The brand built its reputation on delivering a quick, delicious experience, making it perfect for busy mornings. Dunkin' offers a wide range of coffee drinks, from classic black to whimsical flavored options, catering to all taste buds. Did you know their signature coffee is brewed fresh throughout the day? This dedication to quality keeps customers coming back for their caffeine fix. Plus, Dunkin' isn't just about coffee. Their donuts, particularly the Boston cream and jelly varieties, are fan favorites. They've even expanded their menu to include breakfast sandwiches and snacks, appealing to those looking for a meal on the go. With a focus on customer experience and constant innovation, Dunkin' continues to thrive in a competitive market. So what's your favorite Dunkin' treat? Why does freshly cut grass smell so good? The fresh scent of newly mowed grass is actually a distress signal. When grass is cut, it releases chemicals to warn nearby plants of danger. These compounds, known as greenleaf volatiles, are a plant's way of signaling that it has been injured. This remarkable mechanism highlights the sophisticated communication that exists even in the plant world. So the next time you enjoy the smell of cut grass, remember, it's nature's way of calling for help. What if Darth Vader's voice could live forever? In a surprising twist, the legendary James Earl Jones, the voice behind one of cinema's most iconic villains, has officially retired from voicing Darth Vader since 2022. His deep, resonant tones shape the character we all know and love in legendary films like the original Star Wars trilogy. However, fans need not worry about losing the Dark Lord's menacing presence. Lucasfilm has decided to use archival recordings of Jones's voice combined with cutting-edge AI technology to keep Darth Vader alive in upcoming projects. This innovative approach means that even with Jones stepping back, audiences can still enjoy the commanding voice that has become synonymous with power and fear in the Star Wars universe. It raises fascinating questions about the future of voice acting and the role of technology in storytelling. With AI blending seamlessly with the old recordings, it's an exciting time to be a Star Wars fan, as Vader's legacy continues in new and unexpected ways, allowing his chilling presence to echo through the galaxy for years to come. Believe it or not, lasers can actually cool objects. While lasers are typically associated with heat, there are special lasers that can cool objects down to ultra-low temperatures. This process, called laser cooling, is used to reach temperatures near absolute zero. These technologies play a key role in quantum physics and are used in experiments with atoms and particles, leading to groundbreaking discoveries in science. Did you know there's a glacier on Pluto the size of Texas and Oklahoma combined? It turns out that on the distant dwarf planet Pluto, there's a massive glacier called Sputnik Planitia. This glacier covers an area the size of Texas and Oklahoma combined. Amazingly, this glacier is made of nitrogen ice, not water, as it would be on Earth. At the center of this region lies a heart-shaped feature made of frozen nitrogen that slowly flows, similar to glaciers on Earth. This fascinating landscape is just one of Pluto's mysteries that continue to amaze scientists. Each planet in our solar system is truly unique. It's hard to believe, but sea stars can evert their stomachs. Sea stars have a bizarre and fascinating way of eating. They can push their stomachs outside their bodies to digest their prey. When a sea star encounters something too big to fit in its mouth, like a clam or mussel, it wraps its stomach around the prey, releasing digestive enzymes to break down the food. Once the meal is digested, the sea star pulls its stomach back inside, along with the nutrients. This unique method makes them some of the most unconventional predators in the ocean. Talk about dining al fresco. Why is space black? It's connected to Olbers's paradox, which explains why the sky is dark despite the countless stars in the universe. Though there are many stars, their light doesn't fill all of space for several reasons. First, the universe is expanding, and many stars are moving away from us so fast that their light can't reach Earth. Second, there's a cosmic horizon beyond which we cannot see, making stars beyond that point invisible to us. Believe it or not, the world's smallest snake is less than 10 centimeters long. The Barbados thread snake is a true marvel of nature. This snake holds the title of the world's smallest, living on the beautiful Caribbean island of Barbados. It grows to just under 10 centimeters in length and weighs about 0.6 of a gram, which is around 0.02 of an ounce. This tiny snake feeds on termites and ant larvae, and its eggs are sometimes larger than the snake itself. With its blunt head and toothless mouth, this miniature serpent shows just how diverse and fascinating the animal kingdom is. Believe it or not, hyenas laugh not out of joy. The iconic cackling of the spotted hyena may sound like comedy, but it's actually one of the most complex vocal communication systems in the mammalian world. Each laugh, giggle, or whoop encodes vital social information, age, sex, emotional state, and even rank within the clan hierarchy. These vocalizations signal submission during feeding disputes, summon allies during a hunt, and issue warnings about territorial intrusions. Scientists have cataloged over 30 distinct call types, each used in specific contexts. What's more, the intensity and frequency of a hyena's laugh can reveal how hungry or stressed it is. In cooperative hunts, vocal cues help coordinate ambushes and flanking maneuvers. Far from being aimless noise, hyena laughter is structured, meaningful, and essential to the social fabric of their cunning, female-dominated societies. Believe it or not, the United States managed to connect two oceans. Have you ever thought about how the U.S. managed to connect two oceans and control a critical global trade route? In fact, at the beginning of the 20th century, they waged war against Spain to acquire strategically important territories and construct the Panama Canal. This canal is not just a vital transportation artery, it is also a means of ensuring military and trade power across both oceans. The canal became a key element in U.S. national security and opened up opportunities for trade and military control in the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. Did you know that boxfish wear armor like real tanks? Boxfish, members of the family Ostracidae, are nature's aquatic tanks. Instead of flexible skin or scales, they're encased in a rigid, bony exoskeleton made of interlocking hexagonal plates that form a hard box-like shell. This armor makes them nearly immune to bites and scrapes, especially in rough reef environments. Though their shape limits speed, it adds incredible stability, allowing them to make precise, slow maneuvers through coral. Some species even excrete a milky toxic mucus when stressed, deterring predators with both chemical and visual warnings. Bright patterns on their body serve as aposematic signals, further discouraging attacks. Engineers study boxfish for their biomechanics, using their body shape to inspire designs in automobile and underwater robotics. In the evolutionary trade-off between speed and safety, the boxfish proves that armored resilience can sometimes be the winning strategy. Surprisingly, the shoebill looks like a living dinosaur. With its hulking frame, steely gaze, and enormous shoe-shaped bill, the shoebill stork, Balaniceps rex, is a bird that seems plucked straight from the Jurassic. Found in the swamps of Central Africa, this silent predator can stand over 1.2 meters tall and remain still for hours while hunting. When it strikes, it does so with terrifying precision, snatching fish, frogs, and even baby crocodiles. Its prehistoric appearance is matched by its behavior, slow, deliberate, and intense. The giant beak crushes prey with a snap as loud as a rifle crack. Despite its imposing look, the shoebill is shy and solitary, nesting deep in remote wetlands that are increasingly endangered by human activity. Conservationists now race to preserve both the habitats and the mystery of one of the world's most dinosaur-like birds. Can you believe North Korea runs on cash? In this isolated nation, credit cards and online transactions are complete no-shows, making cash the king of the economy. Most North Koreans rely on physical money for their day-to-day purchases, creating a unique financial landscape. The national currency, known as the North Korean won, unfortunately has no traction on the global market, which leads many people to favor more stable currencies like the US dollar or Chinese yuan. Imagine navigating your life without the convenience of electronic payments. That's a typical day for many in North Korea. The absence of a digital banking system reflects not only the country's restrictions, but also its approach to external influences, keeping their economic practices tightly under wraps. For those who are a part of the daily grind in North Korea, this cash-only system is simply how things work. While this might sound daunting to us, it's just the norm over there. Like shopping in a foreign land where bank transactions come straight out of your pocket. Hard to believe, but France has a homeless crisis. Despite its glamorous image of fashion, fine dining, and exquisite art, France has been grappling with significant social challenges, particularly homelessness. With over 330,000 individuals currently without a home, it leads the European Union in this critical issue, marking a staggering 130% increase since 2022. The situation reflects a growing wealth gap, where the richest 10% of the population holds nearly 50% of the nation's wealth, while the poorest 10% cling to a mere 2%. This divide starkly contrasts the bustling life of major cities like Paris and Lyon, where luxury and economic opportunity abound, with the realities of rural areas that often lack basic services and viable job prospects. Many people face not just a lack of housing, but also limited access to education and healthcare, making it tough to break free from the cycle of poverty. As the country's allure and elegance mask these pressing issues, it begs the question, how can such a beautiful nation address these inequalities and support its most vulnerable citizens? Can you imagine there's a bridge in Sweden that goes underwater? In Sweden, there is a unique bridge called the Öresund Bridge, which connects the country to Denmark. This bridge suddenly ends and dives underwater, turning into a tunnel. This engineering marvel was designed to avoid interfering with sea traffic. Driving from Sweden to Denmark gives the feeling that you're diving into the sea right in your car, adding an exciting element to the journey. Is it possible? Paper can be stronger than steel. Special technologies can create what is known as paper armor, which when treated properly becomes stronger than steel. For example, Japanese washi paper, used in some bulletproof vests, can withstand impacts that ordinary paper couldn't handle. This paper is treated with resins and layered, making it incredibly durable. Amazingly, paper can be used for protection, just like metal, thanks to these technologies. Can you imagine that the world's largest Ferris wheel can hold over 1,000 passengers? In Las Vegas, USA, stands the giant Ferris wheel known as High Roller. This massive wheel has a diameter of 167 meters and can hold up to 1,120 passengers in 28 spacious cabins. The ride takes about 30 minutes, giving riders breathtaking views of the city. The High Roller is not just an amusement ride, but a symbol of the grandeur of Las Vegas. Ever thought about visiting North Korea? If you're daydreaming about a trip to the mysterious land of North Korea, prepare for a surprising journey even before you pack your bags. This country is known for being one of the most closed-off places on Earth, which means getting a visa is not just a walk in the park. In fact, the process can feel a bit like an elaborate puzzle. First off, most travelers cannot enter North Korea freely. They must go through an approved tour guide or agency. You can't just hop on a plane and land wherever you please. The government keeps tight control over the travel process, so visitors are usually only allowed in designated areas, and you will be closely monitored during your stay. The visa application itself involves a lot of paperwork, including a detailed itinerary and sometimes even personal information. Unlike other countries where a simple application can get you a visa quickly, here patience and precision are key. But for those adventurers willing to embrace the challenge, the reward is a glimpse into a world that feels like it hasn't changed in decades. How does Germany successfully run a crocodile farm? At the crocodile farm in Saarland Zoo, more than 100 crocodiles live comfortably, even in Germany's harsh climate. This zoo is equipped with water heating systems that create ideal conditions for these exotic reptiles. Despite the cold winters, the crocodiles act as if they're in the tropics. Tourists can even watch them lazily swim or feed, making this one of the region's main attractions. You might be surprised by Scotland's national animal. It's the unicorn, a mythical creature that captures the imagination and embodies the spirit of the country. While most might expect a more conventional choice like the lion or the eagle, the unicorn represents purity, innocence, and power, making it a fitting symbol for Scotland's unique national identity. The connection to the unicorn dates back to the 15th century when it first appeared on the royal coat of arms. Interestingly, the unicorn is often depicted in Scottish lore as a fierce and untamed creature, a symbol of strength against oppression. Over the years, it has woven its way into Scotland's cultural tapestry, appearing in everything from art and literature to modern-day festivals celebrating Scottish heritage. The unicorn also plays a role in Celtic mythology, further enriching its significance as a symbol of magic and wonder. So next time you think of Scotland, remember it's not just bagpipes and kilts. There's a legendary creature standing proud as the national emblem. Why does the King of Hearts in a deck of cards have no mustache? If you've ever taken a close look at a standard deck of cards, you may have noticed that the King of Hearts is the only king without a mustache. This small detail, often overlooked, makes him unique among the other kings. Depicted as clean-shaven, this little quirk adds a bit of mystery to the standard deck of cards that we all know and play with. Who would have thought the axolotl regenerates lost limbs without a scar? The axolotl, Ambystoma mexicanum, a rare Mexican amphibian, is a biological wonder frozen in a larval state, retaining gills and aquatic habits throughout its life. But its real superpower is regeneration. Axolotls can regrow entire limbs, spinal cords, parts of the brain, and even portions of the heart without leaving a trace of scarring. Instead of forming fibrous tissue, they create a blastema, cells that behave like embryonic stem cells, rebuilding complex structures with precision. Scientists are decoding the axolotl genome to understand the genes responsible, hoping to apply this knowledge to human tissue repair and spinal cord injuries. In labs, axolotls have already advanced research in limb regrowth and cancer resistance. This permanently youthful creature holds answers to some of biology's most profound medical questions. Have you ever wondered if elephants can get hangovers? In Africa, elephants love the fruits of the marula tree, which when overripe, ferment and become alcoholic. Elephants can eat up to 20 kilograms of these fruits at once, sometimes causing a mild alcoholic effect. It has been observed that after such feasts, elephants become more sluggish and even prefer to rest. Some scientists claim that this phenomenon is similar to a hangover in humans, and perhaps that's why elephants occasionally avoid marula. Did you know that Mount Everest grows every year? Each year, the world's highest peak, Everest, grows a little taller, by a full 4 millimeters. This happens due to the tectonic plates beneath the Himalayas, which slowly but steadily push the mountain upwards. These tectonic processes have been going on for millions of years, and every time climbers reach the summit, they stand just a bit higher than their predecessors. Imagine, every step on Everest's summit is a step into new heights. It's not just a physical achievement, but a testament to the incredible natural forces that constantly reshape our planet. Everest is a symbol of nature's grandeur and its continuous movement forward. Uncover the mystery of secret staircases in Italy. Did you know that secret staircases were built into Italian houses? In the enchanting cities of Venice and Florence, wealthy aristocrats constructed homes featuring these hidden passages as a means of escape in times of danger. These staircases, cleverly concealed within the walls, often led to secret rooms or safe exits, providing an intriguing glimpse into how people protected themselves during turbulent times. Today, many of these unique architectural treasures still exist, captivating explorers and tourists alike. Imagine wandering through the narrow, winding streets and suddenly discovering the entrance to a hidden staircase. Visitors find themselves drawn to the allure of these mysterious structures, which seem to whisper stories of the past. Each staircase offers a glimpse into a world where safety and secrecy were paramount. As you explore Italy, keep your eyes peeled for these hidden gems, and who knows, perhaps you'll stumble upon a secret staircase of your own. Ever heard of Ayubawan's warm charm? In Sri Lanka, when people greet each other with Ayubawan, they're not just saying hello, they're wishing each other a long and prosperous life. This heartfelt gesture involves placing hands together in front of the chest, accompanied by a slight bow. It's a simple yet deeply meaningful way to express respect and goodwill, and it perfectly reflects the warmth and hospitality that Sri Lankans are known for. Imagine walking through a bustling market or a tranquil village and encountering friendly faces greeting you with this inviting phrase. It's a cultural tradition steeped in kindness, where every Ayubawan fosters a sense of community and connection. In a world that sometimes feels a little too rushed, this gentle greeting reminds us to pause and appreciate the people around us. So the next time you meet someone from Sri Lanka, or even a fellow traveler, try saying Ayubawan. It just might brighten their day and strengthen that bond between you. Have you ever wondered what makes Britain so unique? One of the most distinctive aspects of the UK is its ability to blend ancient history with modernity. Despite its roots in ancient times, Britain has successfully adapted to a changing world, allowing it to remain a significant player on the international stage. Additionally, British culture has made a profound impact on art, literature, and science. What if I told you continents were once connected? Just a slim 2.4 miles or 3.8 kilometers across the Bering Strait, you can find the narrowest gap between Asia and North America. This might sound surprising, but during the last ice age, this icy stretch wasn't just water, it formed part of a land bridge called Beringia. Imagine a world where our modern continents were linked by this vast expanse of land, allowing ancient humans and wildlife to easily walk from one side to the other. This migration route teemed with life, making it a vital passage for animal species and early human ancestors. As the climate warmed and the ice melted, Beringia gradually disappeared beneath the waves, leaving behind a remarkable tale of how continents and species moved and adapted. Now, what remains is a chilly expanse of water separating two incredibly diverse regions, rich in history and stories of connection. So next time you think of the Bering Strait, remember it's more than just water. It's a reminder of how connected our world once was. How would you react if you found out there is an underwater museum in Greece? In the Aegean Sea near the coast of Greece, there is a unique underwater museum. This archaeological site allows visitors to dive with scuba gear and explore ancient shipwrecks and artifacts lying on the seabed. It is the first underwater museum of its scale and attracts both history enthusiasts and divers from around the world. How many kilometers do you think it is from the UK to France? Only 32 kilometers. That's the distance across the English Channel. This is why it was decided to connect the shores of the two countries with a tunnel. The construction of the Channel Tunnel, which links the cities of Calais in France and Dover in the UK, marked an important milestone in history. This tunnel became one of the most significant transportation projects, costing $15 billion in 1994, which is equivalent to $35 billion today. Believe it or not, the world's oldest musical instrument was made from vulture bone. The world's oldest musical instrument is a flute made from vulture bone, and it's 35,000 years old. It was discovered in a cave in Germany and serves as ancient evidence of early musical craftsmanship. The flute has 5 finger holes, hinting at its musical potential. This artifact shows that ancient people used music for rituals, communication, and entertainment, adding melodies to their daily lives. Believe it or not, squirrels remember hundreds of hidden nuts. While it might seem like random digging, squirrels possess astonishing spatial memory that allows them to relocate up to 300 food caches months after burial. They use environmental cues, like the shape of a tree, the pattern of rocks, or the slope of the land, to mentally map where each nut is buried. Their memory is not scent-based, rather it's cognitive and visual. In scientific experiments, squirrels successfully identified their own buried food even when decoys were planted nearby. What's more, they sometimes engage in deceptive caching, pretending to bury nuts while being watched, only to move the real ones later. Indigenous myths in North America often portray squirrels as cunning and resourceful, and now we know that's biologically accurate. This complex behavior not only ensures their winter survival, but also helps forests grow. Forgotten nuts often sprout into new trees, making squirrels accidental reforestation agents. Did you know that monarch butterflies undertake one of the longest migrations on Earth? These amazing insects travel thousands of kilometers each year, migrating from Mexico to the United States and Canada. What's even more incredible is that this journey takes place over several generations. Monarch butterflies begin their migration, lay eggs, and the next generation continues the journey. This incredible relay across generations transforms their migration into a dance that transcends borders, a true wonder of nature. Did you know that the pale blue dot is a photo of Earth taken from 6 billion kilometers away? This iconic image of our planet was captured by the Voyager 1 spacecraft in 1990 from a distance of 3.7 billion miles, or 6 billion kilometers. In the photo, Earth appears as a tiny, barely visible dot in the vast expanse of space. It reminds us of how small and vulnerable our planet is in the grand scale of the universe, prompting reflection on our place in the world. Can you imagine a world where dads give birth? Seahorses live it. In the underwater realm of seahorses, traditional gender roles are flipped. It's the male that becomes pregnant. After a graceful mating dance, the female deposits eggs into the male's brood pouch, a specialized chamber on his abdomen. The male fertilizes the eggs and incubates them for weeks, regulating temperature, oxygen flow, and salinity. During this time, he nourishes the embryos, protects them from predators, and even contracts in labor to release the fully formed young into the ocean. This is the only known case of true male pregnancy in the animal kingdom. Ancient Asian cultures viewed seahorses as symbols of protection and good fortune, perhaps drawn to their unusual parenting habits. Biologists continue to study this rare adaptation for insights into reproductive biology and evolutionary diversity. In the world of seahorses, fatherhood takes on a whole new level of commitment. Male seahorses, a fascinating exception in nature. Did you know that seahorses are the only animals where males carry the offspring? Yes, it's the male seahorses that take on the role of pregnancy. They have a special pouch on their abdomen where the female deposits her eggs. After this, the male seahorse incubates the offspring for about 3 weeks, eventually giving birth to baby seahorses. This unique process makes seahorses one of the most unusual creatures in the animal kingdom. Male sea dragons and pipefish, close relatives of seahorses, also possess this remarkable ability. Nature is full of surprises, and seahorses are living proof that it can break its own rules. The first computer mouse was made of wood. In 1964, Douglas Engelbart invented the first computer mouse, and it was made of wood. This device, with two metal wheels, revolutionized how humans interact with computers. Today, modern mice are much more advanced, but that wooden mouse remains a landmark in computer history. Who would have thought that polar bears have black skin? Yes, beneath their snowy white fur, polar bears actually have black skin. This may seem surprising, but nature designed these animals to have the best possible insulation for surviving in freezing environments. Their black skin helps them absorb more sunlight, while their hollow, transparent fur traps the sun's rays, creating a thermos effect. This incredible adaptation allows polar bears to stay warm in the extreme Arctic cold. Although their fur appears white, it merely reflects the surrounding light, making them almost invisible against the snow and ice. What if everything you knew about Greenland was marketing? When Eric the Red was exiled from Iceland in the late 10th century for committing murder, he sailed west and discovered a vast icy island. Knowing settlers wouldn't be excited by endless snow, he named it Granland, Greenland, to make it sound lush and appealing. This wasn't a mistake, but a calculated piece of Viking-era real estate branding. The southern tip of Greenland, where he landed, does have green valleys in summer, but over 80% of the island is covered by a massive ice sheet. Still, the name sparked curiosity and drew colonists across the sea. It worked so well that Norse settlements thrived there for centuries. The name outlived the colonies, embedding itself in maps and minds worldwide. In truth, Greenland's name is more fantasy than fact, proof that words can reshape perception just as powerfully as swords or sails. Is it possible? The world's largest flower can reach 3 feet in diameter. Meet the Rafflesia, a giant flower that astonishes with its size. The diameter of this extraordinary plant can reach nearly 1 meter, making it a true botanical wonder. But it's not just its size that makes the Rafflesia famous. Its smell resembles rotting meat, attracting pollinating insects. This enormous, eccentric plant perfectly illustrates the diversity of nature, showing that flowers can be not only beautiful, but also absolutely surprising. It's not as simple as it seems, because Iceland isn't just ice. When early Norse explorers reached this island, it was winter. They saw snowstorms, icy cliffs, and cold seas, and they named it Island or Iceland, based on first impressions. But this land of ice is also a land of fire, one of the most volcanically active places on Earth, filled with geysers, green pastures, and hot springs. Ironically, Iceland is greener in parts than its neighbor Greenland. Over the centuries, the name stuck, becoming a kind of poetic misdirection. Viking sagas described Iceland as both beautiful and brutal, a land of gods and giants, and modern visitors still find that contrast alive. Today, glaciers and lava fields coexist with modern cities and geothermal energy. Iceland's name tells only half the story. Its true identity is a spectacular blend of opposites. Surprisingly, Oklahoma leads the U.S. in tornadoes. This state experiences the highest frequency of tornadoes per square mile, making it infamous as a main part of Tornado Alley. This region, which includes parts of Texas, Kansas, and Nebraska, witnesses more tornadoes than any other area in the country. With its unique geography, including flat plains and warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico colliding with cool air masses from the Rockies, Oklahoma creates the perfect storm conditions for these powerful weather events. These tornadoes can be fierce, spinning winds that can reach speeds of over 200 miles per hour. If you're a tornado watcher or a thrill seeker, Oklahoma is a hotspot for chasing storms, drawing enthusiasts from around the world who wish to safely experience these natural phenomena. To prepare for the potential danger, local residents have developed a strong community awareness, with many participating in safety drills and investing in storm shelters. So whether you're fascinated by meteorology or just enjoy the adrenaline rush, Oklahoma's tornado scene is one to watch. What was the real reason behind the emergence of the first coins? The first coins appeared around the 7th century BC and were primarily made of silver and gold. The value of a coin was directly related to the value of the metal it was made from, which determined its purchasing power. The introduction of coins was a significant step in the development of the economy as they simplified exchange processes and allowed for the formation of more complex systems of trade and wealth accumulation. Can you believe the fastest land animal can run at 120 kilometers per hour? The cheetah is nature's sprinting wonder, capable of reaching speeds of up to 120 kilometers per hour, which is about 75 miles per hour. However, its incredible speed is only for short bursts, as the cheetah can maintain this pace for just a few seconds before exhaustion and heat set in. Despite this, its brief but powerful sprint makes it the king of land predators. But if we're talking about speed in general, the absolute champion remains the peregrine falcon, which we discussed in our last video. This bird can dive at speeds exceeding 300 kilometers per hour. Can you believe a woman built this ancient temple? The Temple of Hatshepsut in Egypt is not only a remarkable structure, but also one of the oldest standing buildings in the world. Dedicated to Queen Hatshepsut, who reigned in the 15th century BCE, this funerary temple showcases stunning ancient Egyptian architecture. Set against the breathtaking cliffs of Deir el-Bahari, it features grand colonnades, impressive statues, and beautifully detailed reliefs that tell stories of Hatshepsut's achievements. What makes this temple particularly fascinating is the story of its creator. Hatshepsut is one of the few female pharaohs and broken the norms of her time. She managed to gain power in a male-dominated society and commissioned this temple as a tribute to her reign in the gods. Visitors today are captivated not only by the temple's grandeur, but also by its history. Hatshepsut's legacy continues to inspire many, as she carved a path for women in leadership and shown that greatness knows no gender. When you stand before the Temple of Hatshepsut, you're looking at a piece of history that speaks volumes about ambition, resilience, and the ancient world. Could the Pringles can owe its shape to NASA? It might sound like snack aisle science fiction, but the iconic Pringles can was inspired by aerospace engineering. Inventor Frederick Bauer wasn't just creating a clever tube, he was applying principles from the world of spaceflight. The cylindrical, foil-lined cardboard design was patented as a container for the safe transport of fragile articles, a concept rooted in technology used to shield sensitive equipment during rocket launches. Its airtight seal and even pressure distribution protected the delicate, uniform chips from crushing, just like similar designs protected circuit boards and lenses in zero gravity. In essence, the Pringles can is a low-orbit idea brought down to Earth, a practical intersection of high-tech materials and everyday convenience. From space probes to sour cream and onion, it's proof that packaging can be a story of innovation. Did you know that cats use their whiskers as measuring tools? Cats are masters of agility, and their secret lies in their whiskers. These long, sensitive hairs aren't just decorative, they play an essential role. A cat's whiskers are usually about as wide as its body and help them determine whether they can fit through narrow spaces. It's like they have a built-in scanner that constantly analyzes their surroundings and warns them of obstacles. Thanks to these magic hairs, cats can move confidently even in complete darkness, always graceful and swift. So the next time you see a cat squinting to judge a space, remember, their whiskers have already done all the work in the background. Here's a wild fact about dragon fruit. This tropical treat, also known as pitahaya, boasts an appearance that looks like something straight out of a fantasy novel. With bright pink or yellow scales and green-tipped spikes, it's like Mother Nature caught a little creative spark. But the real magic happens when you slice it open. Inside, you'll discover a vibrant white or pink flesh, dotted with tiny black seeds, giving it a unique texture and an inviting look. The taste is mild and subtly sweet, making it perfect for smoothies, fruit salads, or just enjoying fresh on its own. Not only is dragon fruit visually stunning, but it also packs a punch when it comes to nutrition. It's low in calories and rich in vitamin C, fiber, and antioxidants. Some even say it can help boost your immune system and promote healthy skin. Whether you're diving into one for the first time or adding it to a trendy dish, dragon fruit is sure to bring a splash of tropical joy to your day. How do insects breathe without lungs? Insects have a fascinating respiratory system. They don't have lungs, but instead breathe through tiny pores called spiracles. These spiracles are located on their thorax and abdomen, allowing air to flow through a network of tubes called trachea. Some insects can even control their breathing by opening and closing the spiracles, and in low oxygen conditions, they can temporarily slow their metabolism by recycling the oxygen stored in their tracheae. This respiratory system is just one of the many ingenious adaptations that help insects thrive in diverse environments. Have you ever wondered why twins speak their own language? Around 40% of twins develop a fascinating phenomenon called cryptophagia, a private language made up of invented words, phrases, and even grammar that only they understand. This secret communication often begins in infancy, when twins spend so much time together that they start mirroring each other's early speech. These invented dialects can be rich and complex, often unintelligible to parents and outsiders. While the phenomenon usually fades once children are exposed to formal language in school, it offers a glimpse into how the human brain seeks to build structure and connection, even in isolation. Cryptophagia isn't just cute, it's a powerful demonstration of how language evolves socially and cognitively. In twins, we see an accelerated microcosm of linguistic invention that echoes the way entire human languages may have first formed. Is it true Titanic's sister ship nearly sank first? Most people know the story of Titanic, but few realize that its older sister, RMS Olympic, almost met disaster before Titanic ever sailed. In 1911, Olympic collided with the British warship HMS Hawke near Southampton, tearing open two compartments. Though it didn't sink, the incident revealed vulnerabilities in the ship's hull design. Despite this close call, the White Star Line made only minor tweaks when building Titanic. Less than a year later, Titanic famously hit an iceberg and sank. Historians now speculate that if Olympic had received a full structural overhaul, the lessons learned might have saved Titanic. Instead, corners were cut and tragedy struck. It's a haunting case of history's warning signs being ignored, and a chilling reminder of how close calls don't always change course in time. Why does fish rain actually happen? In the city of Yoro, Honduras, an unusual phenomenon occurs every year: rain of fish. This strange natural event happens during the heavy summer storms when hundreds of live fish fall to the ground along with the rain. Locals call it lluvia de peces and believe it to be a divine blessing. However, scientists suggest that strong water spouts form in the atmosphere, lifting fish from nearby bodies of water and depositing them kilometers away. It's one of those phenomena that remind us how surprising and unpredictable nature can be. Why is Socotra so unique? Located off the coast of Yemen, Socotra is one of the most isolated and distinctive places on the planet. This island is renowned for its incredible plants that cannot be found anywhere else in the world, such as the famous dragon blood tree, with its unusual shape and red sap. About 1/3 of its flora is endemic, and the island's ecosystem remains largely unexplored. Socotra resembles an almost alien world with its rich biodiversity, despite its remoteness and inaccessibility. Who would have thought Antarctica had speed limits? In 1991, the world's coldest, most remote continent saw an unlikely headline: first speeding ticket issued in Antarctica. A British tourist racing across the ice on a snowmobile at 40 km/h was stopped and fined under the Antarctic Treaty. Though it sounds absurd, the incident highlighted serious concerns. High speeds can crack the ice, disturb wildlife, and pose fatal risks in a land with no hospitals or roads. The treaty exists to protect Antarctica's delicate environment and ensure peaceful scientific cooperation. Even in a land with no permanent residents, laws still matter. This speeding fine, though humorous, served as a warning that human presence must tread carefully, even where penguins outnumber people. Yes, even on the last continent, you can get busted for reckless driving. Isn't it fascinating that our brain stays alert when we sleep in a new place? Have you ever noticed that you sleep less soundly the first night in a new place, like a hotel or a friend's house? This is due to a phenomenon known as the first night effect. It turns out that part of our brain remains on guard when we sleep in an unfamiliar environment, helping to protect us from potential threats. Studies show that the left hemisphere of the brain remains more active than the right, allowing us to react more quickly to external stimuli. This ancient survival mechanism helps our bodies adapt to new surroundings. But don't worry, over time, the brain adjusts to the new place, and the first night effect fades, allowing you to sleep more peacefully. Did you know the Kuwaiti dinar reigns supreme? It's true, the Kuwaiti dinar is celebrated as the most valuable currency in the world, with one single dinar trading for around 330 USD. This high exchange rate is largely due to Kuwait's flourishing oil export industry. The country has one of the largest reserves of oil, which fuels its economy and ensures a steady influx of revenue. This wealth allows for a strong currency, making the dinar a powerhouse in the currency markets. Interestingly, Kuwait has carefully managed its financial policies to keep inflation low and its currency strong, which adds to its appeal. Unlike many currencies that fluctuate wildly due to economic downturns or political instability, the dinar tends to hold its value well. What's more, this currency's strength means that if you hold Kuwaiti dinars, you have a purchasing power that stretches impressively beyond many other currencies in the world. So whether you're planning a trip or simply curious about global finance, the remarkable status of the Kuwaiti dinar is definitely something to ponder. Why did ancient Romans wear togas? The toga was a symbol of Roman civic authority and status. Only free men could wear it, and putting it on incorrectly was considered shameful. But it wasn't just about fashion. The toga was highly impractical and required constant adjusting, signifying that its wearer was above manual labor. Plus, it was so hot and uncomfortable that Romans only wore it on special occasions. Who would have thought ancient fashion could be so complicated and impractical? Goosebumps, an evolutionary artifact from our ancestors. Have you ever wondered why we get goosebumps? This phenomenon is linked to our ancient ancestors. Long ago, when humans and animals had more body hair, this reaction helped them appear larger and more intimidating to predators, while also retaining heat in cold weather. When tiny muscles at the base of hair follicles contract, the hair stands up, creating a fluffy effect. Today, goosebumps are a leftover from our evolutionary past, but they no longer serve the important function they once did. Nowadays, goosebumps are more often triggered by cold or strong emotions. So next time you feel goosebumps, remember that they are a part of your ancient defense system. It's hard to believe, but giraffes and humans have the same number of neck vertebrae. Despite the fact that a giraffe's neck is much longer, both giraffes and humans have the same number of neck vertebrae, 7. These bones provide support for the head and allow neck mobility. In giraffes, they are simply much longer than in humans. This fascinating fact highlights the amazing diversity of evolution and nature, despite the external differences between species.